Sir, now I got it. Now I got it. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Yeah, if you can hear me, just type yes in the comment section. We'll be starting in a minute. We'll be starting in a minute. So now today we will be discussing about the geography module, which we have done an exam for today. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Let others to join. We will be discussing three major questions that we have conducted for the exam. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes. Let others to join. After that, we will be starting. So yes, if you have seen the question paper, before going to the question paper, I just want to give you a detailed analysis of the syllabus for not more than 5 minutes, right? So in the geography module, geography of India and Telangana, we have, it's not equal weightage, but we have more of Indian Telangana. If you see 3, 4, 5, where we get more questions from Telangana, and 1, 2, where we can expect questions from Indian geography, right? So in the first column, as you can say, as a first point, India physical settings, physiography, drainage, climate, mechanisms, effect of El Nino, La Nina, because this was the previous question of APPSC also, and this year mains question, prelims questions also we have about El Nino, La Nina. So this is one question we can expect because we have a good no La Nina year. This is La Nina year. Last year La Nina year, though we have bad economy growth rate, we have good La Nina which equate our growth rate. So that is one thing that you should very much concentrate on, right? So we have energy crisis, EZ, problems of interstate water sharing, conservation measures, right? And we have agriculture, irrigation. Yes, as we are an agricultural country and agricultural state, so we need to concentrate more on irrigation, agriculture, and the background of it, that is green revolution. That is what I think you might have seen your if you have seen your today's syllabus, the questions which I have picked was one from drainage system, two from green revolution, three from urbanization in Telangana. Urbanization in Telangana is where I have picked. No, one more topic which I have picked. Right? So one first question, if you see in geography, the first question which I have given was, I think you can see here. Despite many disadvantages of green revolution, the first statement itself may not be liked by everyone, because we have great advantages of green revolution is everyone know, we have been taught, we have been seen in our books, but in state PSC exams we have seen a opposite view of the general point of view. So despite many disadvantages of green revolution, it is the only option to feed the billion Indians. So in the question itself he said that, he given a statement that you don't have any other option, guys, you have to depend on green revolution. Elucidate this statement with reference to the historical background of the food security of India. So you should write something about green revolution, but you should not directly contradict the statement, because the examiner point of view here is there are disadvantages, so you have to prove that yes, there are certain disadvantages also. You, for that you don't need to write outrightly start about this green revolution is so bad, green revolution has made differences between rich and poor, green revolution is confined to only few areas, green revolution not yet been implemented in so many areas. Yes, those are all important points, but before that, introduce what green revolution is. And because 5-year plans are very very important, I think everyone knows that Norman Borlaug, in and around 1960s, he started green revolution. Of course, he has won Nobel Prize in 1970 for high yielding variety seeds. Don't write about the history of who invented that and all, but from Indian point of view, you can mention Norman Borlaug, father of green revolution, and also the Swaminathan thing within one paragraph, right? This is very important, because here I'm not giving you outright A to Z answer. A to Z answer is not required here, but I want you to know how to write an answer with the knowledge what you have. That is what I want to mention here. The revolution was launched to address India's hunger crisis during the second 5-year plan. So, by the time we have migrated to the industries, there is a hollow space in agriculture. Though first 5-year plan was very good for agriculture, there is a hollow space here that was created. So, when I concentrated more of industries in second 5-year plan, there is a hollow space. So, from there, the crisis of food security started, right? So, the food grain crisis, or it can be where the dramatic success in and around the Mexico thing, Mexico and Indian subcontinent and all. So that is first paragraph or first line, that is enough. Second line, what you have to write, emphasis on the disadvantages. Now coming back to the point, introduction, we have to write a small brief, right? When he is saying that what is green revolution, then you have to write, what are the objectives of green revolution, short term objectives. So second 5-year plan, as long term objectives, overall agricultural monetization should be increased, rural development should be increased, industrial development should be increased, our employment should be increased. There are some few, we can say, scientific studies that shows that climate can be changed, climate diseases can be increased, or globalization for the agricultural world. No, those are all stuff when I ask you about what is green revolution, but I'm saying that there are disadvantages of green revolution. So you don't need to prove yourself that you know green revolution, right? So first paragraph is just a basic introduction is sufficient. Second paragraph, emphasis on the disadvantages. That is very very important. Emphasis on the disadvantages, right? So, such as biodiversity, soil pH value, rich and poor differences. Yes, there are a list of disadvantages of biodiversity. Again, he is not asking what are the disadvantages. Despite the disadvantages, you don't have any other option, dear, because Indian population is already a billion, so you don't have an option. So, prove that there are disadvantages. For that proof, you have to write some disadvantages such as biodiversity, right? India, when we go for the green revolution, you will be concentrating on the high yielding variety seeds. For example, food grains including wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, maize have gained from the from the revolution. Other crops such as cereals, pulses, oil seeds were left out. It is not much being concentrated. That's the reason even today you can you can see the rice variety, you may get it for 2 rupees a kilo, or maybe say 40-50 rupees a kilo. But oil varieties, even for the common man or to the richest person or the poorest person, oil prices per liter is almost 150-160 you have to spend even today. That is much greater than your petrol and diesel. So we have not concentrated on the oil seeds at that in 1960s. So we are experiencing all the negative impacts of inflation and everything in 2022. Simple logic, right? That is one thing that you have to mention. You have to mention that oil seeds have not been highlighted much, right? Even the pulses we have been importing from Africa, cereals we have been importing, ma. That is so sad. That is so sad. That's the reason we don't have proteins more. We have carbohydrates more, because wheat is something we concentrated, rice is something, jowar is something, bajra is something, maize is something. Everything carbohydrate food. So India became sugar capital. Cereals, pulses, oil seeds we have left behind. The Green Revolution resulted in the large scale use of pesticide, insecticide, weedicide, herbicide. All sides you see, green revolution resulted a large scale devastation in the maintaining the pH value balance, right? For example, where all the green revolution has been introduced in alluvial soil, that is the third point you have to write, right? So you are doing emphasis on disadvantages. You are proving the examiner that yes, whatever the statement you have given, I am proving it to you that this statement is right with my examples. The second part of the answer should be a small pinch of food security and historical background, right? Now, where it was introduced in India and why only in those places, for example, alluvial soils, because we have rivers. Whenever river comes, river distribution where we have Godavari and Krishna, those areas where we have Western UP. Sorry, yeah, I think there is some problem with the connection. Yeah, fine, okay. So in Western UP, we have Ganga and Yamuna deposition. That is one place. Right, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP in the north, and Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu in the south are major and eastern region, including Assam, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, and arid and semi-arid areas of Western South India are minor. See, eastern region including Assam. Assam is also a place where we have alluvial soil. Bihar is also a place we have alluvial soil. West Bengal is also a place where we have alluvial soil. Odisha also, coastal Odisha is also where we have alluvial soil. But you have not concentrated. I mean, the green revolution has not been major impact, so they have been left behind in terms of development. Now, components such as variety, high returns, you have to prove that green revolution is the only thing, because he is saying that India has 1 billion Indians, 1 billion, more than 1 billion Indians, right? 135, 137 crores Indians. So to prove that statement, it is the only option to prove that statement. You don't have any other stuff rather than accepting components such as green revolution is good, it has high returns, heavy water though needed. We have to maintain a balanced view. We need varieties, we need high returns, we get high returns for the farmers, a peasant can become farmer. A heavy water is needed, that is one disadvantages we have. So we are developing irrigation, okay fine. If we need water, I give water through irrigation. My irrigation has been also developed. So non-germination of harvested seed, this is something that you have to concentrate. Yes, that is something. Though we have adoption of modern methods of technology, we still fail to regerminate the harvested seed. We have to go and purchase the seeds from the same old shop which supply seeds to you from Western countries, and you have been developing. That is high yielding variety program was restricted only to 5 crops: wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, and maize. I'm not talking about GM, genetically modified, BT seeds, bacillus seeds and all. But high yielding variety program is confined only to hardly 5 varieties: wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, and maize. So we get more output for these crops. Whoever a farmer who makes these crops, he get more output. If a farmer is not able to make those crops, he is not getting good output. So one farmer is very good in terms of output. One farmer is not good. Arid farmer, Madhya Pradesh farmer, or Vidarbha farmer of Maharashtra, Telangana farmer, or Rayalaseema farmer, or Karnataka farmer is not so good in terms of comparison with the other farmers. So rich and poor differences started as a byproduct of green revolution. But we should not say green revolution is the cause, but not implementing properly is the cause. And drawbacks should be focused, because organic revolution can be an alternative to traditional agriculture. Yes, so you have to say that green revolution is doing bad to an extent, and it is only option. So what you have to do, you have to suggest, okay, though we have green revolution, though we have high yielding variety seeds, you have to shift towards organic farming. That way you have to conclude your answer saying that we have organic farming, that is the only alternative that we have. Either we can't reduce the number of agriculture irrigated area, we can't reduce high yielding variety seeds, I can't reduce number of net irrigated area, leaf gross net irrigated area I can't reduce. So the only option is change to organic. In drawbacks, mandatorily highlight the point which I have mentioned: water consumption and thrive for excess irrigation. So we have this high yielding variety crops need more water than compared to regular crop. Sometimes 1.5, 1.8, 2.5 times also you need more water. So excess irrigation is needed. For irrigation, land grab should be needed. there are so many disadvantages in terms of excess irrigation, soil get, you need land availability is one thing, water availability is one thing, disputes between state is one thing, and so many stuff is there. Differences green revolution created in agri economy. So you have to mention, as a point, and in conclusion, you can mention like excess methane production from paddy fields impacting greenhouse. The same points itself you can mention. You don't need to, you know, elaborate each and every statement as a paragraph. Mention the same statement. High cost of pesticide, fungicide, herbicide, insecticide, germicide, weedicide, all sides. It is becoming very cost. So you have to increase again MSP. That is one thing. So how land in Punjab and other state areas have become saltier soils, rake or collar soils, where we have pH value completely disrupted, salinity becoming in the top layer of the soil, or say eutrophication is one more thing that we can mention in the answer, because more uses of green revolution, more pesticides, or say uh, uh, in terms of nitrogen, excess nitrogen that what you give for a period of time, all this excess nitrogen goes and deposits into the lakes, and lakes become eutrophicated. You should mention that point also. How organic farming can solve all the problems mentioned above. You can mention 1 or 2 points. See, it's not about mentioning all the points. That means you don't have that much amount of time. But this is what required for the question that is being asked. You can even take a case study of Sri Lanka, because in Sri Lanka overnight completely shifting to organic cultivation, how have collapsed the whole agricultural economy. Agriculture has collapsed, so agricultural economy has collapsed. Agricultural economy collapsing means that other economies also will be collapsed. The complete country has been collapsed. So please take, don't take aggressive solution or say decision. Be medium terms. Mention the ratio of land availability. See, this point is very very important. I don't know what you do, but you have to mention this point. 17.7% of the world population, that is, we all are Indians, and residing in just 2.4% of the world land makes that we don't have an alternative world. Yeah, we don't have alternative world. See, Indian population is almost 17.7% of the world population, living in just 2.4% of the world land, that is India. So how much pressure will be there on this land? So I have to go to green revolution. I need high yielding variety seeds. I need greater output, but at what cost? So you can mention for extra marks. Sorry, government schemes like Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, you can mention, our credit facility for farmers, availability for farmers, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, right? Statistics of Indian agriculture, our recommendation from MS Swaminathan committee, right? These are things you can mention in this question. Right? So this is about green revolution. If you have any doubts, yes, we will be taking in the comment section. Please ask. Please ask your doubts. Yes. You have any doubts? You can ask me. Then we can, if we have no doubts, we can go to the second question. Second question. Second question is where we have El Nino and La Nina. Yes, we have El Nino and La Nina. That is very important. So El Nino is bad to India and La Nina is good. How far these external factors of Pacific Ocean impact Indian monsoons and drainage system of Indian subcontinent is your question. So first, El Nino is bad, yes. La Nina is good, yes. For India, yes. But is it for every country? No. La Nina is bad, okay, I'll accept. La Nina is good. How far these external factors, because they are not occurring in Indian Ocean, so it is not Indian factor, happening in Pacific Ocean, so that is external factor. Impact Indian monsoon. Will they impact Indian monsoon? Yes. How? There are certain currents that come to India from Indian Ocean. For Indian Ocean, again it comes from Pacific. So Pacific to Indian Ocean to India. So it's as introduction. Yes, of course, I will do that. I mean, since you have to do that. So El Nino is the name given to the occasional development of warm ocean surface waters along the coast of Ecuador and Peru. This is very important, Ecuador and Peru. El Nino events occur irregularly at intervals of 2 to 7 years, although the average is about 3 to 4 years. So El Nino is an event that is event to India. So what exactly is happening? So in and around the Pacific Ocean, somewhere else in Pacific Ocean, low pressure is created. So my rainfall is, instead of coming to India, it is going there. I'll tell you an example. Imagine I have a mobile shop. I am selling this mobile, right? I am selling this mobile for 20,000. Okay, my competitor sells this mobile for just 18,000, right? You as a customer, when you are coming to me or when you are getting an inquiry, you found that that price is quite cheaper compared to my price. So obviously, instead of coming to me, you go there, you go to my opponent. Yes, same way, winds coming from Antarctica or Indian Ocean, instead of coming to India, they go to South Pacific Ocean because there is more low pressure created. That is what El Nino is. La Nina is opposite. So winds coming to you will come to you. Winds coming from Pacific Ocean also come to you. So more rainfall. So that is the logic here. So rainfall increases drastically in South America, contributing to the coastal flooding and erosion. Obviously, fall to them, no less rainfall to me. Yes, obviously, as a competitors, more customers to my neighboring shop means less customers to me. More customers to me means less customers to me. Simple logic, right? So more rainfall in South America means less rainfall to India. More rainfall to India and Australia means less rainfall to South America. Simple logic. So this is El Nino condition. Rainfall increases drastically. Rainfall decreases drastically in what areas? Australia and Indian subcontinent, where you have very less rainfall. So it means that we have drought. Simple. Indian monsoon is bad. Indian agriculture is bad. Indian agriculture is bad. Indian exports are bad. Indian exports are bad. Indian economy is bad. Indian economy is bad. You and I are bad. Right? El Nino and Indian monsoons are mostly related. So now look at the question once again. You have to prove to the examiner that I am in the same formula, or say I am in the same ideology what your question is. I'm not diverting from your question. Illinois is bad to India, Illinois is good. How far these factors impact Pacific impact Indian monsoon and drainage. So your answer should be effect of El Nino La Nina of Pacific Ocean to Indian monsoon and drainage. That's it. La Nina. La Nina causes. See, he's not asking mechanism. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time and energy on mechanism, and it was not intended. If you want El Nino La Nina, I can explain, or you may read it somewhere. But don't waste your time on how El Nino formed because of low pressure. Why? Because of low pressure, there is a change in the south, equatorial counter current or south equatorial current. That change leads to the shifting of low pressure area or ITCZ to the coast of Peru, and then low pressure formed in the Peru, and then monsoon diverted from India. No, don't read all those stuff because he's not asking what is El Nino, what is El Nino. No, he's not asking like that. He's asking what impact El Nino happened on India. So we have to write about that. Now, third point is very important. Explain relation between southeast monsoon and low pressure ITCZ for extra attention. This is very important. This is where you go to the depth of the question, right? Depth of the answer. That's the question. The depth of the answer we have. ITCZ is the area where we have two winds approach. ITCZ is a low pressure area. It is like offer zone. In brand factory we have offer. I come from this area, you come from that area. We all meet in brand factory. Simple logic. So similarly, I have low pressure in one area, high temperature in one area. So winds all come to that area. So that is what ITCZ is. Wherever we have ITCZ, that is intertropical convergence zone, there we have low pressure. Simple. Low pressure is there, good monsoon is there. So during the month of March, September, sun is overhead to the equatorial areas tropics. This you may mention, you may not mention. But mentioning this shows that you know much, but you don't have time, though you are mentioning this, right? This leads to the intense heating, which creates a belt of low pressure region. This low pressure belt attracts northeastern trade winds from northern hemisphere and southeast trade winds from southern hemisphere. This is very important point. justification for the answer that you have writing, right? So convergence of this two trade belt leads to the, right, two winds are converging means good rainfall. ITC said more precipitation, more evaporation, more convectional rainfall, more monsoonal rainfall, more cyclonic rainfall. Everything is good, everyone is happy. That is La Nina condition. So this low pressure belt is ITCZ. Now, why I have given all this? Because southwest monsoon attracted for ITCZ over India. Now, coming back again, mention Indian Ocean currents of ENSO, right? Southern Oscillation. So you don't need to mention this. I'm just explaining you. You don't need to mention all this diagram, but mention that south equatorial current becomes stronger. That is very important. South equatorial current becomes stronger. More low pressure over Indian Ocean. El Nina, La Nina condition comes. Very good monsoon. Very good drainage system. See here. This point. Just look at here. Yeah. And so El Nino southern oscillation refers to the oscillation between whenever El Nino is there, bad monsoon, bad drought, and no rainfall. La Nina is there, good monsoon, good drainage system. You have to prove this. At least mention at least half page, at least half of the answer. This single point emphasis. This is what asked. Now, La Nina impact on West Asia led to the locust attack. Simple. So whenever we have La Nina, I just see, look at here. This is a new current affairs thing. You should mention whenever La Nina is there, more rainfall to Indian Ocean. More rainfall in Indian Ocean means desert areas, not good drainage system. All water has been in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. So that's the reason we have locust attack this year. I mean last year, 2020, 2020 year, right? So good months, not just good months. For extra marks, you have to mention this La Nina point and no locust attack point. This is very important, right? And for extra marks, you can always mention IPCC facts on climate change led to the changes in ocean. IPCC have said panel on climate change already said that there are changes in and around Sargasso Sea that has led. You can mention that 75 lakh hectares affected with the floods in India and 1600 lives lost every year. You can mention that. This is a justification point for the La Nina case or El Nino case for that matter, right? So this is El Nino case, drought suicide, urban flooding, La Nina case. So you have to prove to the examiner, I know so many things, but within one word. Now, so any doubts here? Any doubts in the second question? I can give you.